Coronation Street's Theo Silverton exposed in 29 powerful new spoiler images. A haunting apology, a dangerous temptation, and a surprise return shake Weatherfield. Your full photo preview. Next week on Coronation Street, buried guilt rises sharply to the surface as Theo Silverton is caught in a devastating moment of emotional truth, one that could change everything. In a tense scene set at The Undertaker's, Theo is overheard delivering a heartfelt apology to Billy Mayhew for abandoning him in his darkest hour and leaving him to die. But in Weatherfield, confessions rarely stay private for long. The question hanging heavily in the air is simple, yet explosive: who is listening? Elsewhere, grief continues to cast a long shadow. Bernie Winter Allahan, still struggling to process her devastating loss, finds herself dangerously close to temptation during a night out that threatens to spiral beyond her control. Meanwhile, Roy Cropper's carefully ordered world is jolted when a figure from Alice's past unexpectedly walks back into the cafe, her husband, no less, bringing unresolved history and emotional unease with him. Our 29-picture spoiler preview offers a detailed look at a week that promises raw emotion, moral reckoning, and consequences that refuse to stay buried. Theo Silverton. A guilt that won't stay silent. Theo Silverton has always projected an image of composure, calm, measured, and emotionally guarded. But next week, that facade begins to crack. At The Undertaker's, surrounded by the quiet finality of loss, Theo reaches a breaking point. Overcome with remorse, he makes a deeply personal apology to Billy Mayhew, confronting the truth of what he did, or failed to do, when Billy needed him most. The weight of that moment is palpable. This is not a casual admission, but a confession born of guilt that has clearly been eating away at him. The tragedy, of course, is that Theo assumes this moment is private. It isn't. Unbeknownst to him, someone nearby overhears the exchange. The camera lingers just long enough to suggest danger, suspicion, and the looming possibility of exposure. In a community like Weatherfield, secrets have a way of traveling fast, and once the truth is out, there may be no way back. The question viewers will be asking all week is not just who heard, but what they will do with what they know. Billy Mayhew. Forgiveness or fallout? Billy Mayhew has already endured more than his fair share of pain, and Theo's apology opens old wounds that may never fully heal. The emotional complexity of this moment lies not only in Theo's remorse, but in Billy's reaction, restrained, conflicted, and quietly devastating. Is forgiveness possible? Or is this the moment Billy finally allows himself to acknowledge the depth of the betrayal? The spoiler images hint at raw exchanges and unspoken tension, suggesting that even if Billy chooses silence for now, the truth may still find another way to surface. Bernie Winter Allahan. Grief, escape, and a risky night out. Grief affects everyone differently, and for Bernie Winter Allahan, the pain remains dangerously close to the surface. Still reeling from recent events, Bernie heads out for the evening, hoping perhaps for distraction, release, or simply a break from the relentless weight of loss. But what begins as an attempt to escape quickly edges into risky territory. The images tease moments of vulnerability, a drink poured too freely, a smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes, and the sense that Bernie may be standing on the edge of a decision she could later regret. Temptation looms large, and the line between coping and self-destruction becomes increasingly blurred. Whether this night out offers temporary relief or leads to lasting consequences remains to be seen. Roy Cropper's shock encounter at the cafe. Roy Cropper is nothing if not a creature of routine, comforted by familiarity and order. So when Alice's husband unexpectedly turns up at the cafe, the disruption is immediate and unsettling. The arrival opens old emotional doors, forcing Roy to confront unresolved feelings and complicated history he may have thought was firmly behind him. The spoiler photos capture Roy's visible surprise and unease, as the past collides uninvited with the present. What does Alice's husband want? Closure, confrontation, or something else entirely? And how will Roy navigate a situation that threatens the careful balance of his everyday life? Monday the 26th of January, Meghan is forced to act. As the week begins, tension builds elsewhere as Meghan finds herself backed into a corner. Will has already warned her that Sam is growing suspicious about their relationship, and his instincts may be closer to the truth than Meghan would like. Faced with the risk of exposure, Meghan is left with little choice but to take decisive action. The spoiler images suggest urgency and unease, hinting that whatever Meghan does next could alter the dynamics between all three of them, possibly for good. Is she acting to protect herself, to protect Will, or simply to stay one step ahead of the truth? A week of secrets, consequences, and emotional reckoning. Taken together, next week's episodes of Coronation Street promise a powerful blend of quiet confession and dramatic fallout. From Theo's overheard apology to Bernie's fragile night out and Roy's unexpected confrontation with the past, the common thread is clear: no secret remains buried forever. The 29 spoiler images serve not just as a preview, but as a warning. Weatherfield is on the brink of emotional upheaval, and once the truth begins to unravel, the consequences may be impossible to contain.